Good evening, everyone. This is BremSter, and tonight I'm coming to you with the puzzle called Containment by rockratzero and BremSter. And this is another Cagey Constraints puzzle. And this will be the last Cagey Constraints puzzle I bring you, sort of. So this puzzle is one that wasn't in the pack. This is, it could have been a bonus puzzle for the pack, but this is another one that was submitted, which was based on the cover puzzle I made, which was just around box 5 with those cells included in the puzzle, which I made to be a uniquely solvable puzzle. And a bit over a week, or nearly 2 weeks ago now, you saw me release a puzzle called Welcome to Cagey Constraints, where Frappy grabbed that opening and built a puzzle around it, and that became the release puzzle for the pack. Well, this is a puzzle that was where rockratzero instead grabbed that and built around the puzzle in order to make a full grid. And the reason I'm doing another one is I wanted to announce what's happening with the puzzle videos that were made for all of the puzzles in the pack. Starting tomorrow, a few hours before my normal release, there will be a bonus video on my channel of one of the Cagey Constraints puzzles. I will be releasing them in the order that they are in the pack, and I will release one pack video per day, and they will come out on the channel as extra videos. There are 32 puzzles in the pack, so it should take 32 days for all of the puzzles to be released. Now, if you are a member, a Patreon supporter of mine, so someone who donates on Patreon, or if you are a YouTube member, these puzzles have been available for a while. But these videos starting tomorrow will disappear from those exclusive lists and just start appearing onto the public list and become available to everyone. I said that was going to happen, and that starts tomorrow. So start expecting a couple of videos a day. If you, there'll be details below in this video, and there have been for most of the last week and a bit, as to how to get the pack. And there is, of course, it's in the collections page over on my Patreon, available for free, how to get the pack as well. So the puzzles are completely available, but the videos will be coming out over the next month. And to announce the coming of the videos, I thought I would do the other cover video, the cover puzzle that was made by rockratzero. So if you're interested in, hang on, this is just going to be a short little puzzle with similar to another one, which it may be, I don't know. Go check out the pack if you haven't, because there's 32 amazing puzzles there. And if you could solve those in less than, I don't know, maybe for all of them, if you could solve them in less than 10 hours, I'd be very surprised. There's some pretty tough puzzles near the end of the pack. So anyway, yeah, probably about 10 hours. Anyway, let's have a look at Containment by rockratzero and BremSter, because I made this bit, which you've all seen before if you saw my video from about 10 days ago. So what are the rules? Normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. Digits in cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage, and digits may not repeat within cages. Digits placed on a purple line must be a non-repeating set of consecutive digits in any order. So for example, this line could be 1, 2, 3. It could be 2, 3, 4. It couldn't be 2, 3, 5 because that would be not a set of digits. So if you look at the digits, they must be a run, and they couldn't be 2, 3, 3 because even though it's possible to put 2 3s in those cells by Sudoku, that would break the rules of the line. Adjacent digits on a green line must have a difference of at least 5. So those digits will have a difference of at least 5, as will those. No 2 digits on a gold line can be consecutive regardless of their position on the line. Digits may not repeat on lines. So on this line, for example, if this was a 2, you could not put a 1 or a 3 on this line, because even though these aren't adjacent, it doesn't matter where the digits are on the line. You may not have consecutive digits anywhere on the line. It also couldn't be a 2 because you cannot repeat digits on the line. And then digits on a grey line read the same in either direction. So whichever direction you read this line from, the numbers will be the same. So if this was a 1 and this was a 2 and this was a 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1 reads the same in either direction. They're the rules of the puzzle. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. Now, I know that I made this central section to be unique, so I'm going to start with that. So the first thing I can do is I can turn around and say there's only one way to make 16 in 2 cells, which is 7, 9, because you can't use 8, 8. So now the 12, it can't be 9, 3, it could be 8, 4, it can't be 7, 5, and it can't be 6, 6. Now the 8 can't be 1, 7, it could be 2, 6, it could be 3, 5, it can't be 4, 4. The 6, well, the 6, there's only 2 ways of making 6, which is 1, 5 or 2, 4. So this is now the 1, 5, which takes 3, 5 out of here. This is the 2, 6, and the 3 goes into the middle. Now, this is a high digit, so these have to be low digits. Now, why is that? On a green line, you can never put a 5 on a green line because there's no digit that is 5 or more away from 5 within the digits 1 to 9. If you put a 5 and you subtract 5, you're at 0, and if you add 5, you're at 10. And if you make it bigger than 5, it only gets worse. But once you have a high digit, the digit that is next to it cannot be another high digit. So because a digit, you can't use 5, so it'll either be above 5 or below 5, the digit that's on a line. And once you've got a digit that's above 5, there's no other digit that is above 5 that is 5 apart. And that is the case with any 2 high digits cannot be next to each other. So we know that these have to be below 5. So they are 1, 2, 3, 4. But 4, oh no, that could work potentially. But I can't put 3 in either of them. This is fully solvable. I just can't remember how. But this is a run of digits. This is a run of digits. There's something here. 7. This is fully solvable, and I can't remember how. I possibly should have studied how. So if this was a 1 and this was a 2, if this was a 1, I'd have to put a 3 on this line. Yeah, if this was a 1, I'd have to put a 3 on this line because it would immediately become 1, 2, 3. And that 3 prevents that from happening. So there's no 1 here. If this is a 2... Yeah, if this was a 2 and I don't use a 1, if there's a 1 on this line, there has to be a 3 on the line. If there's a 2 on the line, there has to be a 3 on the line because it's either 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4. I can't make it 2, 1, 0. So if there's a 2 on the line, there's a 3 on the line, and this 3 sees all 3 positions. So that's the 4, that's the 6. To connect the 4 and the 6, this becomes the 5. The 6 makes that the 2, which means that's not the 2. The 4 means that this has to be the 9. It's the only digit between 1 and 9 that is 5 away from 4, which makes that the 7. Now, this is a palindrome. This 5 means this has to be a 5, which means this 5, because this line has to read the same in either direction. That 5 means that's the 1, which means that's a 5, and these are all 5s. Now, you cannot have consecutive digits on a Nabner line. And if this was a 4, there'd be a 4 and a 5 on the line. So that becomes the 8, that becomes the 4, which means this is the 1, and this is the solution to the center. Now, I need to try and expand on that. Okay, so a 16, as we proved here, has to be 7, 9. So this is a high digit. So these have to be low, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no 4 there because it sees 4. There's no 1 there. So if this is a 7, this has to be a 2 because the only thing that is 5 away from 7 is 1 or 2. This 6, there's the minimum digits you can put into 3 cells are 1, 2, and 3, which sum to 6. So this must be 1, 2, 3. Which puts a restriction on this because this is a Nabner line. So if I use a 4, which is the minimum digit I could use, I couldn't use a 5. I could then use a 6. I then couldn't use a 7, and then I could use an 8. So there is some freedom on this 3-cell line. I could use 4, 6, 8. I could use 4, 7, 9. There is a bit of freedom there. Now, could that be a 4? I think it could if both of those... no, this can't be a 4. So this either is a low or a high digit if it's because you can't use a 5. If this was a 4, both of those would need to be 9, and that doesn't work. So this is a high digit. It can't be a 6 because if this is a 6, this would have to be a 6 for the 12 gauge. So this is a 7, 8, 9. So this is 3, 4, or 5, but it can't be a 3 because the 3 isn't available. So this isn't a 3, this isn't a 9, this is a 7 or an 8. So if this is 7, so these are from 1, 2, 3. This can't be a 1 because of the 1, already in this box. Not sure. So now this is it more restricted? I don't know that it is. So 6 now here can't be 1, 5 anymore. There's only two ways of making 6, 1, 5 and 2, 4. The next option would be 3, 3 and you can't do that and it can't be 1, 5. So this is 2, 4. So what's the Renban? The Renban here, actually 2, 4 restricts this 9 cage and I think it resolves this 9 cage. Because how do you make a 3-cell 9 cage? Well, the only option that doesn't use a 1 is 2, 3, 4, and that's not possible. So it must be a 1. Now, if I don't use a 3, the next option is 1, 5, 6, which is 12. So I must use a 3, and if I use 1, 3, it becomes 1, 3, 5. So this is a 1, 3, 5. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is from 6, 7, 8, 9. In fact, these are all from 6, 7, 8, 9. But if this is either 6, 7, 8 or 7, 8, 9. So the 7 and 8 is on the line, and that is not a 7, 8. This is a 6, 9. 3? Sort of. I can't put... there's probably an easier way of doing this, but I'm just following the trail as I'm seeing it. I can't put 3 in any of those because it's down here. Actually, I see this is a 1, 3 pair. I can't put 1 or 3 down here, and I can't put 1 or 3 in here. So 1 or 3 has to go into those. So this is a 1, 3 pair, and that's a 2. That's kind of cool. Which looks up saying that's not a 2. Which still doesn't stop that being a 7. 1, 2. This is a 1, 2, 3, 5 quadruple. And of that, the 2 must be here, so it's not here. And the 5 must be here, so it's not here. And this is a 1, 3 pair. I'm almost certainly doing this the wrong way. Two is in one of those two. So, is it a naked single in those? It can't be 1 because 1 sees that cell, because these are the same digit because this is a palindrome. It can't be 2. It can't be 3 because 3 is seen here. It could be 4. It can't be 5. It can't be 6. It could be 7. It can't be 8. It could be 9. So those I think are 4, 7, or 9. I think that's correct. So there's probably... it's possibly something to do with these cages. Maybe this 8. Two, 6, 8, and 9 go into those. No. This Nabner is still bugging me. But not enough. So this 10 cage is under some pressure. I think I'm just missing something incredibly obvious. And if it's this 19 cage, I'm in trouble because I'm going to be terrible on the math on that. So this 10 cage, there's only 3 or 4 ways of making a 10 cage. Without using a 1, it'd have to be 2, 3, 5. Now, I know that there's a 5 in one of those because I can't put 5 on this. Can that be 2, 3, 5? No, this can't be 2, 3, 5. Because if this was 2, 3, 5... and the reason it has to be 2, 3, 5. Is if I don't use a 1, the minimum is 2, 3, 4. And then I'd have to increase one of those digits by 1. And you can't increase the 2 or the 3 without causing a duplicate. So, 2, 3, 4 would be the minimum if I didn't use a 1. I'd have to increase one of those digits by 1. If I increased the 2 by 1, I'd have 2 3s. If I increased the 3 by 1, I'd have 2 4s. So I'd have to increase the 4 by 1 and make it 2, 3, 5. The only way to make 10 in 3 cells without using a 1. But if this was a 2, 3, 5, I've also got a 2, 3 down here. So 2 and 3 would have to go into those 2 cells. And I'd have 3 cells that would have to be from 2, 3. So there is a 1 in the 10 cage with 2 cells that sum to 9. Now, it can't be 1, 1, 8. It can't be 1, 2, 7 because 7's not available. So it's either 1, 3, 6 or 1, 4, 5. If it's 1, 3, 6, there's a 3 in one of those. If it's 1, 4, 5, that's a 5. No, if it's 1, 4, 5, I'm not sure what's going on. So it's either 1, 3, 6 or 1, 4, 5. But I need to put a low digit on this, at least one. So either both of those are high, which would, if they're both high, this would be... Right. Those are both low. Because if these were both high, they'd have to be 6 and 8. And the only digit that is 5 away from 6, because remember these are alternating, so I know that this and this have the same high-low, which we call polarity. And this would be the other one. So if these are both high, the only high digits I've got are 6 and 8. And if this is 6, 8, this would have to be 1 because the only digit 5 away from 6 is 1. But I just proved 1 is in the 10 cage. So these are both low, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is the 6 or the 8. But it can't be the 6 because if this is 6, both of those are 1. So that's the 8. Which just tells me that there's no 4 in there. But that 8, I'm not sure what that does. But there's no 1 in those. So this is 2, 3, which takes 3 out of here. So it's not 1, 3, 6. It's 1, 4, 5. This is a 1, 4, 5. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a 6. There you go. That's a deduction. Is it a good deduction? I don't know. But it is a deduction. Yeah, I don't know that it is a good deduction, actually. That is now a 1, 2, 3 triple. So the 1 must be down here and not here. That looks up taking the 1 out of those, and that becomes the 1. That's pretty cool. So this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are 6, 7, 8, 9. There's no 6, 7, or 9 there. That's the 8, taking the 8 out of those. That's pretty cool. This is 6, 7, 8, or 9. Oh, that's now a 2, 3 pair. So that's a 4, which makes that the 9, that the 7. Doesn't stop that being anything. But that's a 1, 3 pair now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So these are 5, 6, and 7. That can't be a 7. That can be. That can't be a 5 because of the pointing 5s from over here. This is very strange, but a lot of fun. I'm sure I've missed something really obvious here. Like really obvious. Like 4 in this box is not in any of those. This is 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's not 7 or 8. This is a 6 or a 9. In fact, what are these 3? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these are 5, 6, and 9. There's no 5 there. So this is a 6, 9 pair. That's a 5. Now on this Nabner line, that means this cannot be a 6 because 6 would be consecutive with 5. So where can I put 4 in this box now? Because I can't put 4 on the Nabner line, it would be consecutive with the 5. So that's the 4, so that's the 8. So this is 6, 7, or 9 for the triple, but 6 would be consecutive with 5. So that's not the 6, that's the 6, That's the 9. I take 9 out of those. The 6, 7 looks down, making that the 9, that the 7, making that the 6, looking up, making that the 5. The 6 and the 5 look up, making that the 7. The 6 looks across, taking 6 out of there. I'm still having a lot of fun with this. There's no 4 there, so there's no 4 there. This is 7 or 9. What is this? 2, 3, and 5? And there's no 5 in either of those. So that's a 2, 3. That's the 5. This is good fun. Still don't fully understand it, but I'm having fun exploring it. That 7 takes 7 out of there, but there must be a 7 on this line. So the 7 is in one of those two. There's no 8 there. There's no 9 there. Hang on, there's something. The 6 makes that the 7, which takes the 7 out of there. So there's an 8 in one of those two. Where's the 7 in this row? Can't put 7 in any of those. Can't put 7 there. Can't put 7 in any of those. That 7 is looking down. Those two are 7 because this is a palindrome. The 7 looks back, making that the 6 and that the 7. This is a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 go into those. This is fun. So this is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, and 9. There's no 4 in either of those, so that's the 4. This is the 8, 9. There's an 8, 9 pair there, but that's not really surprising, is it? So 1, these are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 2 and 6, and the 6 makes that the 2 and that the 6. That is not the way that resolves this. I haven't even looked at this stuff. I'll get there. I will. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 and 9 go into those. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that is restricting this line quite a bit. If this is a 1, that would be 2, that would be 3. And that doesn't work. So if this is a 1, I'd have to put a 2 in one of those two cells. I can't put a 2 there because there's a 2 in the box. I can't put a 2 there because it would make that a 6, and that doesn't work. That is not a 1. Okay. This is a 2. I could still possibly put a 1 on this line, just not there. What can this be? I probably should be looking at that, but I'm... So the maximum this could be is 3, 4, and 5. So these are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no 2 there. There's no 4 there. There's no 5 there. This is a 1, 3 pair. Okay. Which means this can't be a 5 because then I'd need a 4 on the line. So this is from 1, 2, 3, 4, and it can't be 4 because if this is a 4, that would have to be a 4. So this is a 1, 2, 3. This line is a 1, 2, 3 line. That's fun as heck. So if this is 1, 2, 3, this is 7, 6, or 5, and it can't be 6, so that's not the 2. The 1, 3 pair makes that the 2 and takes 2 out of those. The 2 looks down, making that the 4 and that the 2. This is fun. This is just plain fun, which puts 2 up in one of these. But I can't put 2 here, can I? I'm not sure. Could this go 2, 3, 4? No, this can't be the 2. Because if this is the 2, I can't go down to 1, can I? I'd need to put a 3 on this line. This can't go 1, 2, 3, because if this is 1, 2, 3, that would be broken. And it can't go 2, 3, 4, because this would have to be the 3, and this would have to be the 4. And 2, 3, 4... This can't be a 3 or a 4 because of the 1, 3 and the 4. So this can't go 2, 3, 4. There's no 2 here. So there's a 2 in the 19 cage with 2 cells that sum to 17. So this cage is 2, 8, and 9. And that's not the 2. That's not the 8 either. They're the only way to make 19 with a 2 in it. This is fun. This is just fun. So there's a 2 looking down here. This is 135. What am I missing in this column? I'm not sure. Where's 5 in this column? I can't put 5 in those. That 5 knocks 5 out of there. Can't put 5 in those because of the 5. They're not 5. That's the 5. This is a 6, 8, 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are 1, 3, and 5. So that's a 1, 3, 5 triple. That's the 7. That's the 1. There's no 1 there. This is a 3, 5, which looks down, making that the 1 and that the 3. I'm probably doing this the slowest way possible. 1, 2 means that's the 3, so that's the 1. The 3 means that's the 5 and that's the 3. Now, 1, 2, 3. These are 4 and 6, which is good because it makes the Renban work. This 6 makes this the 4 and this the 6. I'm sure there's many other ways of solving this puzzle, but I'm having fun and that's all that matters. 8 and 6. 3 makes this 1 and 3. So the 8 comes out of there. So this is a 2, 9. That becomes the 8. The 4 looks across, making that the 5 and that the 4. The 2 looks back, making that the 9 and that the 2. The 2 looks across, making that the 3 and that the 2. The 2 looks down, saying that there's no 2 there, so that's the 2. The 3 looks across, making that the 1 and that the 3. There'll be other stuff going on. The 8 and the 6 makes that the 9, so that's the 8 and that's the 6. The 8 makes that the 9 and that the 8. This 3 looks down, making that the 1 and that the 3. This 3 looks down, making that the 2 and that the 3. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, and I'll use that 8 to make that the 9 and that the 8, and that is the solution to the puzzle. That was absolutely stunning fun. Did I solve it in a particularly efficient way? Probably not. Did I have fun? Absolutely yes. Have I slept much in the last 36 hours? Absolutely not. It's been a rough few days, but I had fun with puzzles. This is what I do to relax. I have fun with puzzles. And I'm hoping if you are interested in killer puzzles with interesting twists, you won't get this many constraints normally in the puzzles in the pack. This was done as not a gimmick, but these are some of the constraints that were used in the pack. As I said, I made this as a little teaser for the cover as a solvable puzzle on its own, and then people rockratzero in this case turned this into a full grid. So to announce that there's going to be 32 bonus videos coming, one a day for the next month and a day, 30 days, September, April, June, month and a day. Enjoy. And as I said, it's a good way to announce it. So yeah, starting tomorrow, probably in about 21 hours, I'll probably release them 3 hours before my normal video, which means for most of you, before you get up. For me, finally, before I go to bed, there'll be a puzzle coming out. Just enjoy the puzzles. That's what it's all about. The pack is available for free right now over on my Patreon page. There'll be a link below to the page where you can get it. Feel free to use that post to just talk about the puzzles, though you can talk about them anywhere. The whole point is just to enjoy puzzles. That's what this channel is about, enjoying puzzles. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one and the other 32 that are available right now. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you rockratzero for being part of the pack in a huge way. Go check out the pack and see just how huge I mean. And as always, good luck with your solving.